Join us now for an hour of Southern Oregon music. From country, blues, rock, to pop, folk, and spiritual, all original, all Southern Oregon, on KSKQ presents the Southern Oregon Songwriters. I'm your host, Gus Johnson, and I'm joined in the studio today with a pair of new people to our area. So new that they actually discovered the Songwriters on YouTube. Were watching us before you came here. Mm-hmm. So we want to say a welcome here to Stephen Swift and to April McPherson. They play together as Mountaintop Sound out there in the YouTube land and in the Apple Music land and the Spotify land.
Everywhere you get music.
Everywhere you get music. Yeah. So they're a great duo. We heard them a couple of weeks ago at our open mic and said, hey, well, it's time to get those people a little exposure here now before they start working and work themselves to a frazzle. I know, Stephen, you start Monday,
yeah.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. At Road Community College?
Yes, I'll be the chair of art and design there.
The chair of art and design. Mm-hmm. So if anybody wants to get into the middle of that, they should contact you.
Definitely. Come hang out with us. We'll teach you all the arts.
All the arts. All right. So... And April, I understand you're working with one of our local food projects. That's Food and Friends. Mm-hmm. That's quite. We were just talking. It's so important to keep people fed. Yep. It really is in today's environment. We're going to start off the show with the Antonucci Collective from up in Grants Pass. They're going to play a tune for us called "I'll Soon Be Leavin'." This is written by Debbie Antonucci, the mom of the family band.
Virginia lived a life of toil and trouble. Jealous older husband she did fear. He'd take her to the hills when the moon was full to dig a shallow grave and then refill, making a new dress with her sister. She said, Savannah, this will be my last. My husband means to kill me on the morrow. I fear that he will surely take my life. Oh, sister dear, you'll bury me in this pretty calico dress we are making. His jealous mind won't let me be. From this mortal life I fear I'll soon be leaving. I'll soon be leaving. Sun came up one cold winter morning. The house they shared had burned down to the ground. The families came and sifted through the ashes, but there was nothing left there to be found. Then they found a body way up on the mountain, wrapped in quilts laid in a shallow grave. Her little son tucked in so sweet beside her, wrapped forever in mother's embrace. Oh, sister dear, you'll bury me in this pretty calico dress we are making. His jealous mind won't let me be. From this mortal life I fear I'll soon be leaving. I'll soon be leaving. came from way up in Scott County. Stranger there had taken his own life. His sons left him there in an unmarked grave, forever from his family set aside. Who knows what makes a man so mean and angry? He could kill his darling and his son. Was it fighting for the South in that awful war? His children bore the shame of what he'd done. Oh, sister dear, you'll bury me in this pretty calico dress we are making. His jealous mind won't let me be. From this mortal life I fear I'll soon be leaving. 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 I'll soon be leaving.
So there's your mountain murder, huh? You know, all wrapped up. How long have you guys been playing together?
We started as a duo, as you're seeing now. Also, when we left Utah, we had a 4-piece band, but we are the original half, and I think 2017, 18 was it that maybe around there? That was like the early stages of us as anything.
As anything.
Yeah,
She was playing
I started on a cajon.
cajon,
Oh,
so she would do some box on the cajon, and then I'd play guitar and we'd sing harmonies together. It was fun.
Yeah.
so we have a duet here, the Zombie Plowboys. They're from out of Texas. They've been here for quite a few years now, and we recorded them in the studio
Up in the
doing this.
morning, when I hear the whistle blow. Up in the morning, when I hear that whistle blow. There's a train hit the station, bringing me a heavy load. The boss man tried to tell me, don't pack that mule when I'm done. Boss man tried to tell me, don't pack that mule when I'm done. The boss man's gonna ride off and leave me burning in the sun. I don't need no drink of water, 'cause I'm a drowning in my soul. Don't need no drink of water, 'cause I'm a drowning in my soul. I'll take a shot of whiskey, hear the howling of them hounds below. Got a good loving woman,
That's me.
help me get my feet up off the ground. That's right, man.
That's right.
I got a good loving woman, help me get my feet up off the ground. But when her train hits the station, I'm picking up what she be putting down. Up in the morning, when I hear the whistle blow. Up in the morning, when I hear the whistle blow. There's a train a-comin', bringing me a heavy load.
Whoa. Yeah. Classic. Just classic. That's Tom and Katie Noyes. They kind of similar to you guys in some, kind of the setup, a little bit.
Yeah.
Stephen, where'd you get your musical background? How did that all get started?
Oh, geez, that goes way back. So I grew up in Key West, Florida, right at the end of the islands.
Oh, yeah.
So down there, you just start young. So, I started in 5th grade band, as usual, like most students, and was classically trained up through the end of high school. And I wanted to be a drummer really bad. I still do, honestly. But I brought the snare drum home for 1 week in 5th grade. And then I went home for the weekend and came back to school on Monday, and the teacher said, okay, I'm going to take the drum now, and you're going to play French horn. Oh. And switched me over. And I went, huh. And years later, I found out my dad called her and said, if he brings that snare drum home one more time, it's going at the bottom of the ocean. So I ended up playing brass. I was classically trained in brass, tuba, trombone, cornet, French horn, anything. Once you learn the fingerings of brass, you can kind of go all over the place. Trombone was a little tricky because you had to learn to slide. But did that for many years and then switched to music, contemporary music, playing guitar my senior year at high school, and then kind of just kept playing from there. And, I think we played our first classic. I was in a blues, classic rock style band for the last 25 years. And I did that. Our first show was at 16 at a bar in Key West because anybody could go. It's great because you could play bars at that age down there because it's all open. They're all open bars so families can come in. So mom and dad can bring their kids and drink and go from there. So.
Well, that's... Yeah, when I was growing up, kids could get in bars, too, in California.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me listening to my dad playing the accordion in some bar.
Yeah.
Drinking a cola.
I really think it just came from that exposure, and just
Constantly.
being surrounded by music and loving it and wanting to be a part of it. And at a young age, I would sneak out, and we had a bar 3 streets away from our house that I could walk up to, and I'd climb up on there's just a little roof there that you could see the band from, and I would just climb up and lay on the roof and watch bands play. So I loved it.
I know, it sounds like a Steven Spielberg movie. Sometime.
Someday.
Cute little hat on, looking through the window. And what about you, April?
Mine's a little bit less excessive.
Yeah.
Excessive.
I grew up around music as far as listening to it goes. My family never played, so I'm from a family that no one else played or learned anything.
Oh.
But I always kind of had a knack. I started on drums at about 13, just for fun. Moved to guitar, just, as you do, cover your favorite songs just for fun. And I didn't really, I never was really in a band or did anything even through school. And until, his old rock band, when we met, I would step in for a couple of songs and sing with the rock band.
Oh.
But other than that, until we started this, I hadn't really done much, honestly, in that way. So.
Oh, well, every rock band needs to have a good singer come on and belt out a couple of good ones.
A little Stevie Nicks or something.
Yeah, she usually did that with us as well.
So that's how you guys first met musically, was doing that?
No, actually, we met in school. So we were both working on our bachelor's degrees at the same time.
Oh, where was that?
It's in Southern Utah University.
Oh.
And when we graduated in 2015, we were friends in school, just kind of knew each other. And then they said, hey, you both want to teach. It was just kind of weird destiny sort of thing because we both ended up teaching right out of our bachelor's degrees.
Wow.
And that's why she stuck around. Originally, she wasn't going to. She was going to take off, but I'm glad she did. Because here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Well, you've got a song up here for us called Old Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
That's April's department.
I did write this song, yeah.
Okay.
Well, funny about it being written was I was actually just on lunch break, and as I typically would do at my old job, I would kind of just drive up the canyon a little bit and either go for a little walk. There's a stream back where we used to live, or just kind of get outside, somewhere outside of the office. And I happened to park my car and pull the moonroof shade back, and I looked up, and there's some hawks flying around, and it kind of just spiraled, I guess, from there.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of funny. I vividly remember actually writing this song, and I knew I kind of had an idea in mind for the vibe and the feel for it.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Wasn't this one kind of fast too? You just kind of
Yeah, this song came
just
out pretty
came out of you.
quickly. It's one of I got lucky. It
Yes,
doesn't usually happen.
I like those when they come out fast. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
They call them Metamucil songs.
Love it.
Oh goodness.
Okay, should we play it? You
Yeah,
ready?
you bet.
Yeah.
Okay. 2. Spread your wings and glide the breeze. If I were you, I would not leave. If I were you, I would not.
Old hawk above, flying so high. Do you hear us as we are? Do you see the truth? Are we desperate alone? Or simply just tired alive?
Spread your wings and glide the breeze. If I were you, I would not leave. If I were you, I would not grieve. Grieve. Grieve.
Trees in the wind sway side to side, bring shelter when you are in need. Along for the ride, are you rested inside, or simply just tired alive?
Spread your wings and glide the breeze. If I were you, I would not leave. If I were you, I would not grieve. Grieve. Grieve.
Wow, nice imagery in that song. I like the rhythm of it, and the way that it just paints these little pictures. And
She's very good at that.
Yeah.
Her songs are always kind of dreamy, I feel like, the ones she writes for us.
When do you guys collaborate on writing songs, or is it mostly kind of from each?
Yeah, we always work out stuff together. We'll sit down and I'm not really a lyric first guy. I'm usually a music first guy. And then I start mumbling words, and then eventually a story will come to me. And so for a long time, when I was doing the classic rock stuff, it was a little more jammy. I write every song from there's a story in mind, but maybe you always don't hear everyone's side of the story, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So sometimes when, like in the older kind of bluesy stuff that I would do, I would sing a song, but then when we play live, I would just make up lyrics on the fly based off of the story.
Oh.
And so sometimes you'd hear from her side or from his side or from the kid's side, or, and then we'll always, you tie it together with a hook or a chorus, and you can say anything you want in the middle. So, yeah.
Yeah, start on the beat of the measure, try and finish at the end of the
there
measure.
you go.
Yeah. In between, you got some. So this second song is called Rabbit Holes?
Yeah, Rabbit Holes.
And who wrote this, or did both of you do this together?
I think this one was mostly
more him,
me.
yeah.
This one was mostly me. We'll sit down occasionally and I'll go, I don't know about, what do you think about these lyrics? Or, where it's a never-ending adventure, which is why I liked just making stuff up live. And I would work on songs for a year live. We'd play them live, and then we record once we get enough.
I usually
stuff.
only make up lyrics when I've forgotten them. Every once in a while, I come up with something better. But,
Right.
Yeah. But this one was kind of, some of these songs, this is off of our second album. That last song was off of our first album. And this one is off of our newest album. We just released really like 3 weeks ago we released it, I think. So it's
Right,
very,
early
it's
March, I
brand
saw
new.
something on your website about it.
Yeah, brand new. So that's a lot of fun, and this is mostly about those kind of like those. It's about going down those rabbit holes in your mind, that negativity, and trying to pull myself out of it. We were stuck inside for a while, so, during that last few years.
Yes.
And sometimes you can tend to go down the wrong rabbit hole if you're not paying careful. Assume positive intent. That's my lesson.
Assume positive intent.
Yeah. That comes from a buddy of ours, Randy. He always said that. But you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rabbit holes in gray matter, and you can't let it go. It's a heartbreaking feeling, being lost and alone. The only constant that matters is it comes around again. No help on horizons from a fair weather friend. It's a dark way of thinking, sunken hearts and open doors. Hold the warmth of the evening, staying close to the glow. Growing pains are the season, up and down once again. With no need from the former or a fair weather friend.
right. You guys are just, you have great coordination in your tax and your releases. You're precise in that. You're very together. And
Thank you.
Your
Thank you.
vocals very together. It's
We
great.
practiced a lot.
It's taken time.
We haven't practiced the last few weeks.
Yeah, moving,
Yeah.
Here, practice this box.
It's been an adventure. Yeah, getting everything. But the house is almost set up. Feels like a home. We're here. We're home in Oregon. We
Yeah,
are
it'll
so
all
excited.
be real when you start work Monday morning. You know, then it'll.
I've been writing
reality
curriculum
will
for
come.
2 weeks, so it feels like we're kind of comes with the territory when you're a teacher.
Oh man, yeah, behavioral objectives in a classroom environment. So you're listening to KSKQ presents the Southern Oregon Songwriters. I'm your host, Gus Johnson. I'm joined in the studio this afternoon with Stephen Swift and April McPherson, who play together as Mountaintop Sound, where you can find them on YouTube and Apple and all that places like that. We're going to play now a song from that we recorded about a month ago with Tori Michelle, a local folk singer. So this is called Pinocchio.
Been on that.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Heel boy, calm yourself down. You better back on up before you blow this town. Be real, boy. Don't hide yourself. Reel it on in. Be a real person, yeah. Breathe it on in. Let it begin. Say what you mean to say. Can't say it any other way, and just breathe it in. Let's take our time, just listen. Let's make a real connection and be real, boy. Be real, boy. Don't hide yourself. I can see right through your eyes. I can see right through your lies. Be real, boy. So heal, boy. Calm yourself down. You better back on up before you blow this town. Be real, boy. Don't hide yourself, so kneel, boy. Don't fool yourself, yeah. Be real, boy. I like to talk about my feelings. Be real, boy. I like to say what's on my mind and be real, boy. No matter if it's day or night, and be real, boy. Can you communicate? And now, what's your day? Are you feeling okay? I don't wanna mess around. I don't wanna tone it down. Be real, boy. Heal, boy. Calm yourself down. You better back on up before you blow this town.
has Tori Michelle. Pinocchio, which makes makes sense when you look at it that way. You're listening to KSKQ FM. This is community-supported radio at 89.5 and 94.1 in Ashland and Medford, Oregon. We're in the studio today with Mountaintop Sound, and we've been talking up a number of things here. You guys work in multimedia at all?
Yeah. I mean, we both do. I do a lot, obviously. I teach it, so my education is in. It's funny because a lot of people know us as musicians, and just our regular friends and out in the world. Not many people knew us through the university we used to work at, and so they always assumed, "Oh, you teach music," and then and I go, "No, I'm an art professor," and they go, "Oh, what? Oh." That's weird. I never knew that's what you did, because I'm more about the teaching portion of it. But I'll work in all sorts of things. My degree was painting, printmaking, bachelor's, and I had a master's degree in illustration. And so then I went off has spun off from that into VR and augmented reality pieces and things. Yeah. And so I really that's been kind of my tinkering for the last little while, has been working in VR and AR. But we both have worked as working artists for a while. April's a photographer. I worked as a photographer, shooting bands. I was a videographer and recording engineer for 30 years now. So I've been doing that. I did music. I just never wanted to go to school for music because I didn't want it to ruin me. So
I was just talking to one of our members, Bill Dawson. He said, I went and got a degree in art, and we had a music people there too, and said I never did go over there and really work with them any and learn any of that, and I wish I had. He said, because he's still at the point of it was separate,
Well, and we have a talk about this. One of our favorite shows in Vegas, when we were close to Vegas, we're not anymore. So, but we'd go down and watch Beatles Love, Circus Olay in Vegas. We've probably seen it, 8 times now.
Yeah.
But one of my lessons I've always told my students is, look at a show like that. That's an incorporation of every type of artistic creation you can do. Music, audio, lights, art, design, 3D. It's a little bit, all of it's in there. Yeah. And so, it's really cool. And then April, you have a photography degree, right?
Yep. So my undergraduate photography. So I didn't go on to master's, and I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. I wanted to teach photography too early on, and luckily I got the chance to do it along with him. But I kind of stopped there, and on the side I've always done the weddings and the portraits and shooting imagery and stuff like that. I personally love being outside, so for me it's more of like nature photography and macro stuff and just finding the small details. I kind of strayed from that. It's more of on the back burner now, I guess. But other than that, it's been more just music.
So we've got a song up here called In a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
How'd this come about?
This is another one of mine off the latest album. And I'm trying to think. I think this one, like he mentioned earlier with one of the other songs, being locked up inside for the great what have you.
Yeah.
This one sort of came from just a lot of what we were seeing, on the TV and hearing on the radio and in the news, and just sort of the idea of, I guess maybe I don't know how to explain it very well.
I always connect with the chorus of this song, because we say "hang on" in it over and over again, and for me, when she wrote it, it was kind of inspirational to me, because I was just like, I'm one of those creatives who spiral. That's where that rabbit hole song came from. Because she has to talk me off the ledge pretty often, a couple times a week. A couple times a week, I'm like, I'm no good, and this is the worst, and what am I doing? And she gets me off of the ledge. But that "hang on" really spoke to me personally, so I've always loved singing it with her.
Great. Okay, In a Dream. Huh?
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Try, we strive, we want to feel alive, yet we don't know what to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I like that chorus.
It really spoke to me.
Yeah, yeah. We have a category of songs called COVID songs going around for the last couple of
Very
years.
fitting.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. A lot of it's been about being able to share it with somebody, which makes it, I'm sure, so much easier to do. It sure made it easier for us.
Right.
Yeah, it really was great. And how many couples do you hear about? It's like those who made it and those who didn't make it. Because it magnified everything about the person you live with.
It does. Yeah.
And we made it, so we're very happy.
Yeah.
We also wrote a bunch of music at the
We
same
had an
time.
album, yes.
Yeah, we wrote an album. I learned how to play the bluegrass. I was always a blues player, so I was real sloppy, just doing those bends all the time.
Yeah.
And just making it easy, put a little crunch on there, a little delay, and go for it. And never really took it super seriously. I always had a really great soloist who played in my band. His name was Rhett, and he could just play anything. He could play Pink Floyd, he could play Steely Dan, he could do it all. So all I ever had to do was play rhythm.
I see.
So it made life easy. Then pandemic happened, rock band quit. I was sitting around, I had all this time on my hands, and I went, I'm going to start learning this bluegrass thing. I was born in Roanoke, Virginia, so bluegrass has always been part of in the Appalachian area there. It's always been part of my kind of heritage and from our family. And my father had been from Chicago, so that's where the blues part of things came from. So I was just always, that was always played at me as a child.
Chicago blues. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Classic. No doubt. So you've got another tune for us here. It's called Long Time Coming.
Yeah. This is off of our first album. And we wrote this one together.
This one, yeah, was one of the first ones I think that actually came out of that first album too.
I can remember we were sitting in the front room staring at each other, figuring out lyrics back and forth and going for it. And I sing it, but it's a little bit of a sort of an abuse style song. It's kind of about a woman who's going through some stuff and finally leaves. So, here we go. You ready?
You bet.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 4 in the morning. Lay heavy on my chest. He went off without a warning, and God let us rest, 'cause it's a long time coming, 'cause it's a long time coming. It's all a bit blurry, with 240s in hand. He'll light up another. Hate flickers across the land, 'cause it's a long time coming, 'cause it's a long time coming. And I can't go on living this life for a lie. And take all you want, don't you? Leave nothing behind. And I can't go on living this life for a lie. 'Cause it's a long time coming. 'Cause it's a long time coming. Yeah,
How'd you feel when you got done with that song?
I like playing with her.
Yeah.
You know what I was honestly just thinking? I'll tell you what was in my head. Damn, we should probably not practice more often.
Or seem to be better when we don't.
We used to practice 3 times a week, always. We were on it. We put a lot of time in it. And I almost feel like it's I jokingly call it leveling up with any students when I used to teach guitar back in the day. I'd say just keep running it, keep running it, keep running it. Then give yourself a couple days. And then when you come back to it, you'll find, all of a sudden my hands know that thing, you know?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I'm starting to see that learning theory applied to do things in 20, 25-minute spurts.
Mm-hmm.
Walk away from it, let yourself reset, then come back and see if you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like saying somebody's name again after they first say it to you.
Mhm.
If
Always
you
a
can
good
spit
idea.
it back out, then
Yeah.
you're halfway home, one of the things that we see a lot in singer-songwriters is writing about personal events and or something to do with the environment.
Yeah.
Or that. What type of issues do you find draws the songs out of you?
For me, it's a lot of nature. I mean, I think just being out in it, that's probably the biggest inspiration, I think, for me all around. I feel like I almost actually have a more difficult time, at least for now, maybe just because life's been kind of crazy, but pulling personal inspiration or personal events and things into songs, thus far at least. But yeah, nature for me for sure. That's just where I find myself
Nature.
most of the time.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
For me, it's other people's stories.
Other people's stories.
Yeah, I started with heartbreak, like everybody does in the blues. And so I wrote about all my early heartbreaks. And then I got sick of it really quick. I was like, I don't want to write about being, a heartbreak anymore. I'm over this. And I'm a people watcher. I love seeing people. So I really get inspired by other people's stories. And then they end up as my songs. So there's always someone's behind a song, and they know it. I let them know.
I see.
I always share it with them.
Cool.
In fact, on our second album, we won't play it today. It's not planned, but we have a song called Hobbs, New Mexico, which was written for our very good friend who was from there. And he was selling the home, and it was his family home, and he grew up in it. And, he's 78 now, and he's reflecting back and was telling all these stories. And so that song came out of those stories. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Interesting where songs come from and what seems important to us, And over time, some of it changes a little bit, but there's still these trees and paths that we walk most of our lives.
Absolutely.
Other people.
I've got a song here queued up from Shibo, who's a local performer, and in fact, he's playing this weekend, I think, out
cool.
and about. So this is called The Morning Paper.
Sleep all day, prowl all night. I don't care about this thing called time. All my life I've been carefree, chasing leaves in the yard. Catching mice don't seem to be so hard. Every day just being me. And I don't know how much time I have to live. So just living for today is right for me. And my human friends, they rub me on my side. Living in a luxury of a cat's life. Living in a luxury of a cat's life. Run up trees on rooftop. Something's new around the block. Watch out, birds, I'm on the prowl. Laying down on mom's bed, I'm so tired that I need to rest. Rub my head and I will bow. And I don't know how much time I have to live. So just living for today is right for me. And my human friends, they rub me on my side. Living in a luxury of a cat's life. Living in a luxury of a cat's life. Living in a luxury of a cat's life. Living in a luxury of a cat's life.
There you go. Living in the luxury of a cat's life. Rub my head. Come on. Where's my food?
Difficult life.
Well, you know, it's one of those things, though. If you have to have a license to stay alive, then you have to look at it that way. We're waiting for a cat to show up. We're ready for one to magically appear, and we're usually one does when you're interested in that.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful that one will show up pretty soon and say hello.
The universe. Yeah.
It's got a way of that. Most cats I've had have been that way. They showed up. You know,
We had a visiting cat at our last house in Utah. We called him Godzilla
Godzilla.
because when we first met him, he was just he was like roaring like a guy.
Tiny dinosaur.
Yeah.
So did you write a song about him?
No, he
Not
didn't.
yet.
He didn't end up getting a song. No.
It's the third album.
Yeah, third album.
So we've got a song here called "Not Alone."
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this one.
Yeah, this one is. now I'm realizing as we talk about songwriting process, this second album, there is quite a bit more of just our personal lives that came into it. But I think it was because you couldn't help but do that during the Great What Have You. When you were locked in.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I wasn't people watching because there were no people.
There.
So yeah. But this one came from when we got to the point where we could have some fun. We'd go out. We love camping with friends and just spending time in the forest and soaking in each other.
Yes.
So yeah, it still goes back to that common theme. Other people, they're what matters. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Not Alone. 2, 1, 2. lonesome to the forest and chase the light. Lost in with some good friends. This feels right. Not alone. And I wish you all the joy that life can find. And I hope that you find love and hold it tight. 'Cause there's only one way in and out of life. Red rocks built into mountains, the fire's bright. Who's holding? Pass it round, friend, and keep it light. We're not alone, and I wish you all the joy that life can find. And I hope that you find love and hold it tight. 'Cause there's only one way in and out of life. And I wish you all the joy that life can find. And I hope that you find love and hold it tight. 'Cause there's only one way in and out of life.
Whoa! I like that sign.
Hey, thank you.
I like the change in rhythm and the emotion that came from that. you know.
Yeah, thank you.
It accented the song, and it sure ended. Boom! Right there. So, what are your musical goals? What are you guys out to accomplish now that you're here and settled in?
You know, honestly, one of my, and I always refer back to this guy because he's a phenomenal musician, but Leo Kottke. And of course, John Fahey was a big inspiration too. Back in the day, I did a lot of finger picking, weird stuff that I was inspired by them. But and there was a fellow that I played with called Kelly Joe Phelps. He was actually out of the Northwest as well. He passed away this last year, but I opened up for him a few times, and he was just a real inspiration to me. And he was a gigging guy. And what I say when I mention those guys is they're not as well known, you know, musicians otherwise. And so, honestly, for us, I would rather just gig until I die. You know, I want to play a show, step off stage, and drop dead. That's it.
I understand this. Although I was playing with a really good friend, and he dropped on the stage, and that was the start of a long process.
Yeah.
It's been my pleasure, guys, to have you here
Hey,
today on
thanks
the
so
show.
much. So
You've
much.
been listening to KSKQ presents the Southern Oregon Songwriters, and we've had a heck of a time today with Mountaintop Sound, and which it really is Steve Swift and April McPherson. We'll see you next time on KSKQ presents the Southern Oregon Songwriters. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you.
guys.
This is a great vibe. Thanks for having
Not
us.
bad. We'll see you.